howlers.
Welcome, everybody, to Fade to Obsidian, your Red Rising podcast about spaceships, relationships, and death. All the death. So many deaths. I am Skipper, joined as always by Crescent. And welcome back, Lotus. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We're excited you're back. It's for a character that not many people, I think, had opinions on, so you kind of got forced into it. But I think we're still going to have a good conversation about it.
It's okay. I can rally an opinion about anything. So
Perfect.
We'll have a great time.
I love it. This is everybody's warning, their disclaimer that we are talking a lot about Morning Star, but it could go all the way to Lightbringer. So if you have not finished Lightbringer, go do that and report back. Because today we're discussing Uncle Narol. Poor Uncle Narol. So old, so tired at the age of 35.
The age of 35.
Womp,
With
womp.
gray hairs already.
So old. I like it. Well, before we
Who
jump
has
in,
that?
I know mine are in there.
Mine are there
Before
too.
we jump in, what are we drinking tonight? What do we all have?
I have
Lotus?
tea.
Well,
Tea. Nice. Fuck off. I'm
Mhm.
reading, and I like it.
Mhm.
I like it a lot.
hell yeah.
Okay. Crescent.
I have bottom shelf, maybe not bottom shelf, low shelf Canadian rye whiskey, fair
Nice.
face,
Some swill over there.
some swill in my Operation Hazard Bedlam 3 tumbler.
We
Oh,
are
hell yeah.
matching on that.
Twinsies.
I was also going to get some swill, but quite frankly, I had quite the weekend. So I instead have a raspberry lemon vodka seltzer, which is like red. There's some like red for Narol on there, but it's pretty bougie in comparison to what Narol would have ever had. So, yeah. I did have Lagavulin over the weekend. I was at YetiCon with the amazing Alcatraz, Zephyr, and Backstitch / Hearthweaver / Caroline Crunchy, all the names. And so we were having a grand old time that don't tell anybody that I was supposed to go home on Sunday and instead ended up at the Irish pub drinking Lagavulin while we were waiting for poutine while drunk.
Good for you.
It was
Don't
a
tell
great
anybody,
time.
but have a podcast about it.
Yeah. My coworkers don't listen to this. They don't need to know why I really didn't show up. It's fine. Yeah, we were sitting on the hot tub. How it played out was I was supposed to leave at 9 p.m. on Sunday. And at 8:45, they went, "Are you actually going to leave at 9 p.m.?" And I went, "No, you're right. I'll leave at 6 a.m. That's absolutely what's going to happen." And so then we were hanging out in the hot tub and we're like, we want poutine. But the poutine place had closed. So I Googled and I was like, don't worry, the Irish pub has it. So we ended up, and we're like, we'll just order to go so we can go watch Project Hail Mary. So we'll order our poutine, we'll get a drink, and then we'll go. And we sat down and they have the whole Scotch collection. And I went, guys, there's Lagavulin. And so then we had to drink Lagavulin, but they had 8 and they had 16. And I was sitting there and I was like, no one here is going to appreciate the 16. We asked, I was like, can I get the Lagavulin 8? And the server goes, I only have 16. And we're like, well, if you're going to give it to us for the price of the 8, but also if you look 3 bottles over is the 8. And so we ended up with the Lagavulin 8. And I think I had to finish everybody's. Because Alcatraz and Backstitch were not having it. Zephyr had gone home at that point, and a couple other randomers had shown up that we were like, hey, they called us a cult the whole weekend, and I wonder why. But
They're not wrong.
Yeah. They were all Backstitch and Alcatraz's like cosplay friends. And then whenever like first off, I was not allowed to say my government name as per usual. And so when they're like Skipper, the like follow up would be she's a cult friend. I was like, yeah. Yeah, I am.
Fitting.
As is tradition.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean on the Thursday night we had everybody doing den dunks with Oreos into scotch or into whiskey. So already, like we set the tone that everyone's like, what is happening in this friend group? What is this one hotel room doing? We're like, don't worry about it. We had
They
matching
don't
shirts.
know.
Just join in.
They're in the
Backstitch
cult
made
now.
us.
They don't know,
Yeah.
but they did
Yep.
the initiation. So
Mm-hmm.
they're part of it.
They're in it. We did end up, there is someone who is in the den who doesn't talk often, but is in the dens. We ended up naming them, so I won't say it here, but it'll be announced later. That was exciting too. So they got officially put into the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I like
One
in-person
of us.
naming.
One of
One
us.
of us.
Yeah. And then the last thing I'll mention, and I told you guys just before recording, but I feel like the audience needs to hear, is that I was wandering through Artist Alley and came across an artist that I was like, I really like this stuff. And I was looking through, and they had a lineup of all the Eevees as women. And I was like, I think I own that, but in a different version. And so I talked to her, and I was like, did you have like a slightly different version of that? And she was like, yeah, I did, like way back. And I was like, would I have bought it at Fan Expo? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, it's in the back of all my podcasts. So I found the artist of this. I think she goes by Pole Dancing Princesses because that's what most of her stuff is. And I did buy pins of both Merida and Meg from Hercules pole dancing, which were amazing. I'll put up
Great name.
pictures. Yeah. So you can find pole dancing princesses. Or it's pole dancing pins. I'll find it and it'll appear here. And then Backstitch brought it up of like, I saw it and I wondered, I couldn't figure out who I knew that had it. I was like, you've seen it all the time, Backstitch. So there you go. Anyway, I always love when the Howlers hang out. It's always a good time.
Mhm.
We've decided that we're doing it all. Everyone's invited next year because it's really a summer camp, YetiCon. Like it's at a ski resort. So we were doing like ropes courses and there's a zip line. There's a literal zip line. We did not do the zip line, but we did the ropes courses and the mountain coaster. And we're like, we need all the howlers here going feral over this.
Oh,
like,
fun.
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. I got to follow Backstitch on one of her photo shoots for her cosplay, and we literally hiked up the hill, like up the mountain, so that we could be near like the abandoned gondolas and like had like this cool background. We're like, what are the convention? Or are you just hiking up a mountain? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Anyway, that was my weekend. My weekend with the Howlers. So, I'm all excited.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lucky. Sounds like a great time.
It was a really good time. Not to brag that, I was there. But you're on vacation. You're fine.
Had a great time.
Yeah.
Doing a podcast, hanging out.
Yeah.
It's a good week.
Nice. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, now that I've said all the happy things, should we say the sad things? Get into
Spoilers,
death.
Narol dies.
Narol dies.
Not in a good way
Oh.
either.
No. This
Yeah.
one's an interesting one.
Mhm.
Well, let's talk first about Narol as a person. What did you guys think of Uncle Narol, if you can remember all the way back?
He was a
Thoughts
dick.
of Narol. He was a dick. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not the fun uncle.
Yep.
No, and the first thing that's said about him, if I remember, and Crescent is always welcome to fact check me, is that like they start diving at 13 because if you're young enough to screw, you're young enough to go hell dive.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
like the
Old
first
enough
thing
to
that's said
screw,
about
old
him.
enough to crew. Yep.
Yes, thank you. The encyclopedia always provides the
Yeah.
context. So that's like the first thing that's said about him. And even when I was looking through the books today and skimming for mentions of him, I was like, that's a wild first impression to put on this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you get that. You get in that first segment the 35 years old, so
Mhm.
old, so tired that we've all now started quoting at each other because we're now that
Yeah.
age.
Already half
Um,
in the grave, really.
yeah.
Yep.
He's this like grouchy old man who's drunk all the time. He's got his burners. Yeah.
Hmm.
He just
True
hates
drunkle.
life. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a hard one to swallow, but then you kind of, I don't know, I feel like you don't warm up to him until Morning Star. But even that, like, there's a little bit, like, I, on rereads, appreciate what he did for Darrow, of, like, clearly he's the one who gets Darrow into the Suns and extracts him. And, you know, he kind of had more of a hand in raising him because of Darrow's dad passing. But, like, even that, like, he's not really a father figure. Like, it's not like he truly went,
No.
oh, my nephew needs somebody. Yeah.
I think he's the uncle that's not there to be liked. He's there to teach what needs to be taught.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
On
That's
a
a good point.
reread for the last episode I did here, that was, I think, my third time reading Red Rising, and that was kind of the time where I appreciated that he's more of a broken character than you would probably pick up on a first read. Because I think first impression on a first read does a lot of disservice to him as a character because you're like, yeah, he's a drunk, he's mean, he gets into a fight with his 16-year-old nephew in front of a bunch of people. Like, he's
Yeah.
not really an upstanding dude. And then, like, on a second read, I think you pick up that he sees a lot of his brother in Darrow, and that's probably very hard to swallow. Um, and I mean, he's a traumatized dude who just drinks a lot. He's not happy about where he is. He's hiding a bunch of secrets because he's secretly working with the son of Ares. Like, he has
Yeah.
more depth than I think
Yep.
we're given in that initial introduction.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think you kind of warm up to him in. I guess we see no, we don't really see him in Golden Sun at all. It's Morning Star
No.
is when uh we get him back, and you kind of get him a little bit more. I think because you get him with Darrow's mom, of kind of the older generation. They're hanging out with the Telemanus. I love Narol and Dancer. I always think the
Mhm.
funniest of when they break up the like Howler cult ritual. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is this? Like, it's fun parts like that when we see Narol of, um, having to be that older generation. But then it's interesting of Darrow in the second series is how old Narol is, and it doesn't
Oh, that's
feel like
right.
it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. I kind of
Yeah.
forget that they're like in their 30s in the second trilogy. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
But Gold's
so
just lives so
old,
much
so
longer.
decrepit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So old, so tired. The Den, the first year it existed, made Pierce a scrapbook that we sent with birthday wishes, and we put it was his 35th birthday, and we put I created it across the front, said so 35, so old, so tired. So that's why I keep quoting it. That's all I can keep thinking. So
I love
old,
that.
so tired.
What a great gift.
Right? It was really cute inside. We had all these great
He gave it to
messages.
us, so we may as well give it to
We
him.
shoved it back in his face. Um, but yeah, Nero's like, I don't know. I get it. He has a reason to be pissed at the world, and especially if you have your eyes opened by the Suns, you know there is more out there, and you're kind of being used. And I don't think he ever thought he'd get over the mines, so he at least can push Darrow out. But you're always gonna be he understands you're never gonna get the laurel, you're never gonna get any of that. So Darrow
Mm-hmm.
having his like wide-eyed optimism, you've got Narol sitting there being like, no, 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 until he can finally get out, and then he kind of sees a little bit of second life in Morningstar when he gets to interact with everybody else. But even then, he's still kind of grouchy at them all.
It's a much better first impression when we see him in Morningstar, though, because like he's clean, he's got like the uniform on, he's reading. Like
Yeah.
it's a really strong first impression. And I kind of bounce off what you were just saying about his second life. I feel like Darrow starting his mission and being so successful kind of inspired Narol in a way that his brother dying, probably never did. So like that's an example of a red figure in Darrow's life that has really turned a corner and committed to the rebellion in a way that we don't see a lot of other characters in Darrow's like original life do a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think it's cool that to Darrow he actually is almost reborn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in Golden Sun, his mom tells him that he fell down a mine
That's
shaft with
right.
Lauren, and then obviously he finds out in Morningstar, well, that ain't the case. Except Lauren did actually die, which is a shame.
That is
But
a shame.
um, also, the we do learn pretty early on that, like, obviously, yeah, Darrow's father passed away, but I think it gets skipped over quite a bit. We learn that Neryl's daughter, Lana, is killed.
Ooh.
She talks about it
I don't
right
remember that.
in chapter 10, right before, or when they're talking to Mickey. Talks about how he grew up with this girl who her husband got sick, and so she sold her body to a gamma to get meds. And
Right.
then her husband goes and kills the gamma, and then it doesn't explicitly say it, but it says you can guess what happened after that, and that she lives no more.
Wow.
I don't think I caught that.
I did not caught.
Yeah, it's literally one paragraph.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, like he has every reason to be jaded and angry
Mm-hmm.
and all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of like that we get a little bit more of fun Narrow. Not fun, but
Mm-hmm.
like being
A
able
little
to,
more free.
yeah,
Mhm.
to live
Hopeful
more.
in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost he has a purpose,
Mm.
and that's giving him hope.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
Absolutely.
know if I am misremembering this, but I know when Darrow goes to Tinos after he's rescued, they mention that Ragnar is a huge symbol to the Red People. Do they also
Mm-hmm.
say something about Narrow being kind of like a folk hero too? Am I misremembering that?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me a quick second.
I was gonna say I for sure because I listened to it today. When he dies, they
Oh, okay.
say that Nerl is just as big as
Okay.
for the low colors as Ragnar is because we'll get into his death as a bunch, but that's where I see a lot of his death echoing is he like the Civil War kind of breaks out. But do they say it previous to that, Crescent? I'll let you
Um,
do your magic.
yes. So in Morningstar chapter 13, they're talking about how Holiday Victor and I were ready to run with the B Squad, the Pit Vipers, led by my own Uncle Narol, who has become a bit of a cult hero to the Reds here.
Mhm.
Ragnar's a godlike creature, but my uncle is just a rough old man who drinks too much, smokes too much, and is uncommonly good at war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is uncommonly good at war. He just
He sure
like
is.
it puffs
Yeah.
him up a little bit.
Yeah, and he has no reason to know strategy or any of that, but like he's good as a leader. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fight does a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, and also being accustomed to surviving hardship,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Get that fight in you is what I was gonna say. Of that energy behind you of having a reason
Yeah.
to do it rather
I
than.
feel like Narol is almost the personification of this.
Oh yeah, you got the catch
I
these
wore my
Helldiver
catch these
hands.
Helldiver hands.
Unfortunately, no longer available because Helldiver video game
Thanks, Sony.
forced us to take down the. Yeah, that used to be one of our merch, and then Helldiver video game came after us for copyright.
Yep.
Can't use the word Helldiver. Anyway, it escalates
Thanks,
fine with
Tony.
it. Thanks. 100%. He is the ultimate Helldiver, and that's why Darrow knows. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he taught Darrow. He's kind of, I think, a little upset with how Darrow hell dives some days. Kind of doing better than him, but absolutely, I think a large portion of Darrow comes from Narol. Darrow would not be the person he is today without Narol. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is why then, so we'll get into, oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I think the series might not have kicked off the way it was without him either, because the
Correct.
son's connection is why this whole thing kicks off the way it is. Eo's death, I think, is kind of debatable because he may have gone scorched earth for like his mom or something too, but he like Neryl's the reason why he even starts off on the mission entirely. So
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
Narrow's
without
who gives
Narol,
him
he
his second
doesn't
life.
it doesn't
yeah, he
happen.
doesn't survive. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and there's always the theories that people have, and I don't necessarily buy into fan theories, but people have a theory that somebody spoke to Io in those 3 days that she was in jail so that she would make the step.
Oh,
There is this theory. Now, she might have done it anyway, but people often make an argument that Narol could have gone to Io and said, like, heads up, there's a different world out there. Like, there is these little inklings that people have that someone spoke to Io. We've heard it a couple times. And if that's true, it would have been Narol, would have been the person to do it. Now, whether or not that's true, that's a whole other debate.
yeah.
But definitely Darrow being resurrected, being able to survive what happened to him, being picked up by Harmony and Dancer, that is 100% Narol. Narol is who gets in there and does that and gives him that little bit of a push. And again, raises him of having this Helldiver, having this other views and who he grew up to be until the age of 16 or yeah, he's 16, right, when he becomes gold.
Yeah.
That is all Narol. Well, and his mom a little bit, but definitely his mom, not just a little bit. But Narol's got a good push on that. And so I think Narol has a huge start in this whole series from that perspective. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Narol taught Darrow how to dance,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
ultimately leads to him being good at fighting with the razor.
Ooh.
I saw that
That.
online too, and I
Yeah.
think it's one of my favorite tidbits. I've seen people
Yeah.
connect.
Yeah, Mateo getting mad at Darrow because like how could you possibly know this when he does the reaping dance and it's the same as the dance of war that they teach the young golds.
That's a great tidbit. That's really good. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Well, and then who he is for all the Reds. Like we see that he kind of is he's already like at 35 years old, a village elder, right? Like he's one of the oldest people there.
Yikes.
People, as much as he's the drunk and like they all look out to
Hmm.
him, he is that. What's his
Mhm.
role? The talk,
Head
the
talk.
head talk, right? Like he still crews. He does all that. He's got that role. But then, as we mentioned, who he becomes for the Rising, and him along with Dancer have this like old guard feel about them of like you are one of the original sons of Ares. Not necessarily original, but pre Darrow, pre Severo Ares. And so that feel, which I think helps in Morning Star when he's in with the bat like pack. And that's where we then see of his death causes, right? So he gets
Mhm.
okay, let's talk through how he actually gets kidnapped because I even listening to it today, like where was he and then the jackal gets him.
I think he was out sabotaging some of the Rubicon beacons.
Mm,
Let me double check.
because I
Mischief and
honestly,
chaos.
yeah, because I honestly for like got like, and it's funny during this reread because I'm reading looking specifically at the characters who are gonna die. I've been keeping pretty good track of them. And then it was this, I was like, no, I've genuinely lost track of Narol. And then you get the call from the jackal that we know it's 3 weeks old. Is this video of him shooting Narol? Not to ransom
Mhm.
him, not for it. He doesn't need the information. He just wants to hurt Darrow. He just wants to hurt the army, is what ends up happening.
Yeah. So yeah, it is Darrow. My Bone Riders found this one sabotaging beacons in deep space. So essentially causing communication mayhem
Communication, man.
is what I would assume.
Yeah. And it's a shocking one, right? Because it does come of, yeah, he doesn't, he's just there and then he's gone. And it is a
Hmm.
video that's 3 weeks old. So you know that by the time Darrow's seeing it, like, you're not saving him. There was no attempting to negotiate. He's just gone. But Darrow doesn't even have the time to grieve, is what I caught, because immediately that video has gone out and it causes civil unrest is what I'll call it. I said
Yeah.
earlier civil war, but it's not quite, but it almost leads that way of the low colors want vengeance. They want to be able to take back what has just happened to their hero. And this is where Darrow recognizes of like Ragnar was summoned for the low colors, but so was Narol. And you know, you get some very interesting. I love how, like, I listened to it this afternoon, how it plays out of how do you tell the golds what to do when the low colors are out to kill the golds and tell the telemanas to back down and all of this. And then the negotiation with Sephi, because Sephi, this is where we really see Sephi rise to power and come into
Mhm.
her own of, hey, because of Narol's death, we suddenly see the war lord that Sephi could be. Like, it's really interesting just how this plays out. And then, and you can pick apart in a moment any of this, but we see Severo then have to rise to the occasion. And it is truly, Darrow calls it out of when he pushes Cassius over. For the first time, Cassius is going to fake die. Cassius in all his many attempts, or everyone else's attempts to kill Cassius. Darrow says, I am not seeing the death of a friend. Instead, I'm seeing the rebirth of another. Because he recognizes
Hmm.
in that moment Severo's doing this for a reason and using Narrow's death to reclaim what's happening because he has to, because the low colors are reacting in such a way. Yeah.
I think that moment is where Severo really shows how I think he's the ultimate bridge between the low and high colors.
Yeah.
Like truly a child of both worlds.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, and I think in general too, there's something really powerful about losing a folk hero like that to people like the low colors who really like Darrow is symbolic, of course, but he looks like a gold now. But Narol
Mm-hmm.
still looked red. He talked red. He led red, not necessarily armies, but like the pit vipers. So he was like a very visual symbol of how the Reds were representing in this particular fight. And for him to die horribly televised in a very jarring way, um, I think leads to the type of power vacuum that you're both talking about. So if Severo hadn't jumped in there the way he did to be like, hey, I am red, I am gold, we're in this together, things could have probably gone a really, really terrible way. But it does lead to some pretty beautiful moments for a couple character arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yep. Severo for sure. We
Mhm.
also get in
Yeah.
that moment Victra freaking out over Severo's death and Victra finding her own place in all of this of her as the gold, as, you know, kind of the one of the true goals that goes through rather than like the Telemanus or this like we need Virginia back. They're only thinking about that rather than Victra. I think you finally get to see her even with um you know equal to Darrow of this we're caring about all the people and we're caring about Severo's arc and we're caring about all of this. We get Cassius in that moment has a moment of understanding. I think he was almost already there, but this like him and Severo now having their moment together and having to admit of the in front of everyone, yes, I killed Fitchner and playing his part. Um Holiday having to kind of almost choose a side, like she's thrown into all of that. But I think Sephi is also the huge one, I would say, that we're finally seeing the power that like this causes of all of the other obsidian lords giving in to yes, you can be our person. And where does she lie at the end of the day? This is where I think we might have thought because she's Ragnar's sister, we're going to trust her with our own heart. We kind of start really questioning that of like, no, she can have a coup at any moment. She can hold a
Mm-hmm.
coup.
She has her own
Yeah, she
interests.
she
She
now
always does.
she now controls an extremely strong military.
Yeah. I think we also get Orion in the middle of all of this as well. Plays, doesn't she? Or is it right after? It might be after, but I think Orion tells Darrow of like where certain people are and what's happening, if I remember. Listen, today I listened to it, and at
Orion
some point Orion's
Orion
name was
is
mentioned.
yeah, she's doing the like getting Cassius out of the
Yes.
ship.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of?
I think so. I don't know. Her name was mentioned today. It's just interesting in that, like, right after Narol's death, I think you get the reactions of almost every single character.
And a lot of NPCs, not like NPCs, but like more perspectives than just Darrow, you
Yes.
know? So he really does a good job of showing that like yes, this is a very personal death to Darrow, but he doesn't have time to grieve. And now all these other people are seeing what's needed to be done and they're stepping up to show that it's
Yeah,
a group effort. Maybe
absolutely.
Sephi. I think you're absolutely correct that that's more like a concerning window into what might happen.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we're pouring it out. Yeah. You also, though, on the complete other side of this, Narrow's death is what then leads to the Victra Severo wedding. There's a bottle lip. I
Yeah.
haven't seen one in a while. Um, in the name of the Victor Severo wedding. But yeah, like that is what, because Victor was on the fence at this point of like, I'm a monster. Like we've just seen her smash Antonia's face to fucking bits and all of this, and no, like, I think she says like, I'm poison, or I forget her wording of it, but like, I'm bad, and the death of Narol and then the near death of Severo is what kind of pushes Victra to be the like, no, you know what? Like, we need to find the hope in all of this. And Darrow even calls it out of like, this is what my army needed. After Narrow's death, we need the wedding. Like, it's the two of them go hand in hand in a huge way. Yep.
I would definitely agree with that. And I think
Mhm.
Severo in particular being the one to stand on that stage and kind of embrace the dark parts of him in front of a bunch of people in a way that's really powerful and honest and empathetic to like Cassius and what people are feeling probably was a pretty big moment of hope for Victoria herself too, because like you pointed out, she's in that moment where she thinks she's a fucking monster. And Severo kind of acts like a monster a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
he's
Mhm.
standing up there, proving that he can be so much more than that. And I think for someone that caught feels, that probably felt like a moment where she was like, oh, well, if he can do it, then I sure as shit can do it. And also, maybe I
Mhm.
kind of love him a little bit. No, maybe we should just get married.
Well, because she
Yeah,
proposes, right? She's the
yeah,
one who
she imagine
proposes.
she's like, "Oh, I'm about to lose him. Let's not."
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a cute thing too is like she they're like shoving the hands in their face in Darrow's face, and Severo's tiny little ring is jammed on her huge
On her
pinky, and
pinky finger.
and her
Oh,
ring is like Severo's fingers like swimming in it.
Yeah.
they're
I
so
love
cute.
it. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. And Darrow makes the comment about how Fitchner would make fun of Severo for having to stand on his tippy toes to kiss his wife, and like they're just so great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Uh, I've never thought of the parallel there. Uh, there's an exchange between Tactus and Severo about having to stand on his tiptoes to kiss Tactus's mother's chin.
Oh,
Oh,
And it wasn't her chin I was trying to kiss.
that
I
is
love that one.
funny. It's a little
That's a
bit of
good
a
pull.
yeah.
I can't imagine that it's designed as an intentional parallel. But here we are.
But
Fuck
after
it.
reading the book 50 times, Crescent's discovered it. Yeah,
We can draw
that's
strings
funny.
between anything.
Yeah,
It's
right?
true.
That's
Eventually I will have a board.
yes.
A board would be fantastic.
Yeah. We're gonna have the red string board. Just
Hmm.
all
Mhm.
the
You're gonna have
all
to
the
invest in chairs.
yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of string.
Chairs. Oh
Chairs of
god.
red string. We're in a craft store or something. Stock? I don't know. Money terms.
Sure. Yeah. Stock of red.
I
I
thought
don't
you
know.
said chairs,
I
as
also
in
was thinking chairs, like what
pears.
Oh,
I'm sitting
I'm
on, and I was
sorry.
like, I don't understand.
What the fuck is she talking about? No one knows. Not even her.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yep. Yeah, you can pull out anything. But that's a hilarious link of the standing on the toes. There we go. I like it. You heard it here
I know they
first, folks.
I know they keep making
Extremely
fun of
important.
Severo's height, but I mean, short kings, man.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yep.
loves the short king.
Yeah. He owns it. Victor
He
loves it.
does. Hmm.
That's all that matters. Yep. But yeah. Uh Back to Narol though, and the depressing things. We got onto a happy wedding for a second there, but that's not what this is about. Uh I do think it's funny because right before we were recording, Crescent, you said that his death did not echo, but I think Narrow does without, as you say, people mentioning Narrow's name. You mentioned of, the dancing leading to the razor and like
Mhm.
Savro coming up into himself in that moment, which is like direct, but Darrow as a person, the rising, I think, as a whole, and how some of those, the treatment of each other. I'm sure Dancer probably in one way or another, and their stories of Dancer becoming more political. Like, I think Neryl's death has these little wisps, these little tiny waves
Undercurrents.
throughout. Yeah, exactly. That he just, in the same way, Io at the very beginning is very influential, but we know that by the end, we're barely even talking her name because she's just this
Mhm.
background character. Narol is almost the same, of like a lot of the things he would have taught Darrow or brought up through the Rising or brought these people. They don't necessarily think of him anymore, but it's his spirit, and it's
Mhm.
what his legacy is.
Well, and he was foundational for even organizing the low colors once the tapes of Dara were released and
Mhm.
stuff started really moving. Like, and I feel like him being head talk was training almost for a long time for him to manage a large group of people and direct them and know how to organize them. So
Yep.
that translated to the Pit Vipers, but I think also that put him in a really good position to just rally the Reds, period, which is probably partially why he became such a big folk hero. Like, he knew what was coming, he knew what he needed to do, he was confident that he could actually do it. So
Yep.
then he just did it. And laying that foundation for organizing the Reds in particular like that is something that would reverberate down even if he's not a part of it anymore, you know?
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Not gonna lie, when I signed up for this one, I was like, Narrow is
What are
not
we going to
super
talk about?
important. We're not gonna have a lot to talk about here. But I've been convinced
Absolutely not.
otherwise through this conversation.
Yeah.
He has a lot more importance than you would think on a first pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been kind of arbitrary of like when we first created that list of like, who are we going to talk about? Who are we not? Who does Harvest get to cover? And Narrow was definitely one that I was like, well, even today, like we joined this and I was like, this isn't going to be long, right? Like, we're going to be out of here pretty quickly. But I think Narrow is like more influential than some of the other ones on the sole purpose of he had that base influence, right? Like he's
Mhm.
the early influence versus
Yeah.
the one that gets repeated through the ages. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
one.
His death doesn't change that much. Like, yeah, we get some change, but it's not, his death doesn't power a whole bunch.
No, but it's his life, I would say, that does.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was his
Yeah.
absolutely.
actual
Yeah. Like,
life. Yeah,
yeah, 100%.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Is his the first like televised death we get? I mean like televised as in like it being
Like
broadcast
a
out. Because I know,
political death. Well,
yeah,
Eos would have been
right.
Um,
Darrow
no.
technically.
Yeah, I was gonna say Darrow's
Technically.
fake
Death.
state death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Because we obviously get Cassius at the end of Lightbringer too.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
can't remember any of the other ones.
They
Yeah,
do
that's
when they crush under the rocks. I think those are right. Theodora gets crushed. I think that's
yeah,
televised, isn't it?
Theodora and
But
then
that's after. That's after.
Servilla Al Arcos.
But I think you're right that other than EO, this
Yeah.
would be the first, and then Darrow's fake death. This would probably be the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're in Darrow's head through the whole trilogy, and he's experiencing all of these deaths. He's not being shown them. I think.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
I
also
mean,
the first
are
one
you
for
asking?
sure that's, like,
Is this
delayed.
Yeah. Are you asking if this is the first one that Darrow learns about because it's televised? Like, or
Yes.
is this the first one that has been televised?
I think I was asking the first televised to Darrow, which it
Yes.
is, because it's an interesting mechanic that's like put in as a power play kind of by his
Mhm.
enemies. And then it starts being repeated for later things too. Like I was thinking specifically of Cassius and his death, because
Mhm.
that's also televised and it feels kind of like a mirror to Neril in a way, where he
Mhm.
loses a family member on a televised death and he can't do
Yeah.
anything about it. He can only just
Yeah, it's already over.
it's already over. He just has to kind of stuff it down and deal with it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I wasn't thinking broad, but you made a really good point about us only being in Darrow's head. So, like, yeah, we're going to be limited to the things he directly experiences in the first trilogy.
Yeah. This is
And
definitely
I'm sure
granted, he
other,
does experience a shitload of deaths.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
other than EO and Darrow's fake death, I would say these are the first kind of propaganda. Propaganda is
yeah,
not the right word on this one because, like, politically charged is how better. Because
yeah.
hmm
I think EO's death ends up being used as propaganda, and Severo
Mhm.
releasing the carving is propaganda. Versus this is almost
Yeah.
like a reverse propaganda,
fear
where
tactic.
it's fear
Mhm.
tactics.
Yeah,
But politically
Yeah.
charged. Like, it's not being used in a good way, in the same way this, like, sons use EO's death and Severo uses the carving versus Darrow's death. So I guess Darrow's death would be um, almost propaganda on the one side, and then the carving propaganda on the other. But this one is like a
Mhm.
politically charged public
It
execution. Is
yeah,
where
yeah.
it's
this
a
is a public,
message.
yeah, this is a public execution to try and rile up the one side, and I don't think we've really seen that
Mhm.
used before. Yeah.
No, I think public execution is a good term for it because
Yeah.
you're right.
It's
The other two are like their messaging and they're almost kind of like not whistleblowing per se, but it's like I can't think of the term right now, but it's that thing where investigative journalism and our modern shit reveals stuff and it kind of goes out and makes waves. But
Yeah.
um yeah, but public execution
Mhm.
is I think the right term for it.
Yeah.
I was thinking even like psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because it's making his own army turn on him or turn on
Mhm.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
specifically designed to sow negativity and discourse.
Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Interesting. All right. Well, Crescent, do you want to hit us with the numbers? You got
Ooh,
them
let's
there?
get the numbers.
Let's
I
get the
don't,
numbers.
but I can get them.
I'm going to predict
Okay, are we
very
going
high.
post death or do you want to go all the way from the beginning?
Let's go all the way from the beginning. Because I predict high in Red Rising and high in Morning Star. And then, like, a couple in Lightbringer. Maybe a couple in
Actually, you know,
Uh
Dark
so
Age. Because I bet you
37,
Dancer and him have a moment.
37 in Red Rising,
Okay.
yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. Really high.
9 in Golden Sun.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
higher
because
than I thought in Golden Sun.
He talks
because
about him with Diana.
yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
his mom says, like, oh, he's killed.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
39 in Morning Star.
Oh, so is that the same? 39, 39?
37,
37,
39.
39.
37, 39. I
Very
can pay
close,
attention. Very, very close.
actually.
Yeah. I actually
Oof.
would have thought Morningstar would have been higher, but okay.
Me too.
Is it
I
0
would
in
like you
Iron
guys to
Gold?
guess how many.
It was your oof that gave it away there.
It is. It
Two.
is 0.
0.
Zero.
Oof.
He does
Rest in
not
peace, Uncle
exist
Narol.
in Iron Gold.
Uh-huh. 2 in Dark Age.
Is
Okay.
it with Dancer? Does Dancer make the
No.
comment? No, it is Darrow. Okay.
Um,
I was just curious.
there's one that's Ephraim. Well,
Interesting.
sorry, in an Ephraim chapter. Um, the Red
Pax.
Hand Pax clarifies, or its early form, Harmony, one of Ares' more violent agents, composed it from radicalized sons who believed Ares' gold origins was my mother's propaganda. They claim her brother killed Ares, and that Ares' true identity was Nerol, my father's uncle, instead of Electra's grandfather. And
Interesting.
then in
Okay.
a Lyria chapter, where is it? Then Picker comes in with Duncan trailing behind him and tells us to mind our manners, to be polite, to curtsy because we're about to meet the Red Mother herself, maker of the Red Hand, sister of Ares, Neril o Lycos. But the Reaper's uncle wasn't Ares, and all the girls know it.
So that is a fascinating thing we didn't even talk about, that the Red Hand and Harmony, that is a huge echo of Neryl's death, that they have
Mm-hmm.
taken on this like myth and made it this huge thing that was not real. So that's a huge thing of why we still have Harmony kicking around. Interesting. I forgot
Mm-hmm.
entirely about that.
Yeah. I'd like you guys to guess how many in Lightbringer.
3.
1. 0 in Lightbringer. I thought Lightbringer was going to be
0
higher.
mentions, at least as Neril.
So in the second trilogy, the only mentions of Neril is a myth that's not even about, like, that's not true.
Yeah.
That he was
Propaganda,
Ares.
essentially.
It is
Yeah.
100%
Yeah, it's Red Hand
propaganda.
propaganda, straight up.
Yeah.
Wow.
So his
Interesting.
whole
And
legacy gets
not even by
distorted
Daryl.
by Harmony in the second trilogy.
Yeah.
So the only legacy we actually get specifically mentioned is it being twisted.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
sucks.
That absolutely sucks. Wow.
Fascinating. But RIP, dude, you deserve better.
You deserve so much better. Darrow
Yep.
should have given you at least one thought in all of this. Darrow is like,
Especially
Yeah.
Uncle who?
Ringer.
That's
Like,
I thought
Yeah.
Lightbringer, he's so
Such an introspective
introspective.
book.
And like you would think him talking with the daughters of, right?
yeah.
Like,
Well, especially when he's learning his own personal brand of fighting, right? Where he starts like learning how to be fluid and stuff. That's very
Mm-hmm.
like fluid, like dancing. I would assume
Yep.
that Nerol teaching him how to dance would have echoed into him learning how to do that particular sword fighting style or razor fighting
Yeah.
style too.
Yeah.
And the fact that he doesn't even spare him a thought.
Oh, wild work. Yeah, like he literally
Damn.
talks about floating on the deep mine winds. Like, ah, bruh.
Darrow, I'm so mad at you right now.
Yeah.
Where's Pierce? He needs to do a rewrite. Just add him
Darrow,
a
you have
line.
done your ancestors dirty.
Yeah.
Hashtag Narol deserves better. Everybody in the comments, please.
Hashtag
Everybody.
justice for Nerol.
Justice for
Uh,
Narol.
Who knew that's what we would come out of this whole conversation with?
Wow. I am genuinely shocked. This is why
Yeah.
I am loving us doing the numbers. Because some of them are like, yeah,
Yep.
that tracks, whatever. And then this is, I think, our first really shocking conversation after pulling the numbers of like,
Yep.
holy shit.
Especially for a family member too. Like I know it's been
Yeah.
a decade between the books, but for someone who was so instrumental for him even starting this journey to begin with and for
Yeah.
teaching him things, as we've all discussed this entire conversation, And he doesn't even name a child after him or anything. He doesn't even give Narol a middle name for his kid. Nothing.
Do we know
Pax
Pax's middle
has a
name,
middle
to be
name.
fair? Does he?
Does he have a middle name?
I don't think so. Not that we've
Time for
heard.
Pierce to retcon.
I was going to say, do
Yeah.
any of them have middle names? Have we given up on middle names at this point?
Paximilian Narol Augustus.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just make it canon. Spread the rumor. It'll stick.
Yeah.
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 If Crescent starts it.
Pax Pit Viper Augustus.
Oh my god, you got me coughing. Wow.
Sounds like a racehorse, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well. Narol, I'm so sorry. You definitely deserve better than what you were given.
Yeah, for real.
Well,
Co-opted by the Red Hand and forgotten by your nephew.
wow. I did not think
Rest
this
in
was how
peace.
this was going to end. I'm
Kind of typical though, because a lot of times with folk hero figures like that, their legacy will get perverted and twisted by someone with an ulterior motive at some hand. We see that a lot, especially as time passes. So it's not surprising, but you would think that. Well, and does Darrow even know that has happened, or is that purely something that Lyria discovers in her chapters? Because Darrow could be completely unaware that that's happening in the background too, if he hasn't been keeping specific tabs on Harmony.
That is true, because we don't really hear Darrow
it would
talk
not
about
shock
Harmony.
me if he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I think he knows.
Because he's been off on literally every other planet but Mars.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
but
Harmony
at the
is
same
small
time,
potatoes
Pax
for him.
knows, so I feel like.
But Pax, what doesn't Pax know?
Well, I'm thinking that Pax would know that because Mustang has led him to know that for political reasons. And if Mustang knows that, there's no way that it hasn't come up of Mustang saying, like, hey, are you aware? You would hope that, like, hey, the guy who raised you is being used in this manner. Like,
you want me to do something about it? You want me to do anything about it?
Give me a quick second.
I wonder if that's something that will, I'm really curious if the zero mention streak will continue into Red God. And I won't theorize too much, but I really wonder which characters that have died will make some sort of reappearance in the ending saga. Is Narrow going to be one where Darrow thinks about him once in the entirety of the conclusion of this thing?
Hear me out. Narrow's the Red God.
And not Sophocles? Unbelievable.
Oh, I forgot it was Sophocles. Other than Sophocles, it's Narrow.
A soft second. Narrow is a soft second to Sophocles.
Rona's in third. Rona is the third Red God.
Okay.
So
I'll accept that.
In regards to why would Pax know about this, he literally says so himself. I read everything and cross-reference latently, including files only 10 people have access to. What a fucking nerd.
Okay, but his mom would also have access to those files.
Yeah, but just because he knows it doesn't mean they've spoken about it.
No.
But I also feel like Dancer would have keeping track. I just keep going, and I don't know, maybe Dancer and Narol weren't BFF, but in my mind they are. I feel like Dancer would have kept track of Harmony and kept track of all of that to know what he was kind of up against.
Mm-hmm. Darrow. No, Dancer, Narol. Dancer and Narol.
Or their couple name, Darrow.
Jeepers, Darrow. Dancer and Narol. We're just war buddies.
I know.
Going
and I don't think for that long, too.
No, for real.
Probably a footnote.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, sucks for you, Narol. You're a footnote in half these people's stories.
Yeah.
Womp
Wow.
womp.
Justice
Womp
for Narol.
indeed. Justice
Yeah.
for Narol.
Do we have any fan art from Narol? No.
I doubt it.
Artists, get on that.
I saw an image on the Red Rising Wikipedia, and it was the first image I have seen of Neril at all. He did not look like I thought. He looked like he should be wandering Boston with the Tartan Army.
Yes. He absolutely would be.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely, he
that.
would be. He would be
Oh,
drinking the
yeah.
city dry.
He would have
Yeah,
the
straight-
first cone on the
straight up.
statue.
Yeah,
Because
just
it's
a big,
it's a
thick
picture
red
of
mustache. You cannot tell me that man would not be double fisting beer and putting traffic cones on
Yeah.
everything.
who does he look like?
I need to look this up. I have not.
You should look
It's
it
in
up.
it's from the Red Rising board game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to ask Miles who he based him off
Yeah.
of.
I'd be curious who the answer is because he also looked like somebody to me, but I could not place it. I'm gonna remember it in like 2 weeks.
Looks like fucking Anna and Elsa's
Oh.
father.
Yes. Also looks like Merida's father in Brave.
Mm,
Just
Yes.
the old Scottish. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Honestly, hotter than I expected to.
That is
Someone
not.
35 and already crawling into the grave.
Yep.
That is. I kind of saw him as more lean in these days. Like I didn't see him as beefy. I will put up
No.
a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like
Everyone viewing will be able to see.
decidedly a non-red trait is beefy.
Yeah.
Probably Morning Star Narol after he's been fed a little bit more.
Yep.
And spent an entire year fighting a never-ending war.
Yep.
Yep. Fight does grow muscles.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Especially high-tech war.
Oh.
Well, if Mickey's in the room too, he could be like, "Hey, can you just like
Can you just help?
make me a little
Can
stronger?
you beef me up? I need
Can you
to
beef me up?
feel
You beef my
dilthy a
nephew
little
up.
bit.
I know you can do it."
Absolutely. Well, if there's anything we learned from this, justice for Narol.
Hashtag justice for Narol.
We're gonna make it trend. We're gonna.
I was gonna
we're
say
do
we
it.
got to bring hashtags back just for this.
I'll do it. That's our next merch. Since we can't have catch these Helldiver hands, we'll just have justice,
Justice
for
for
Narol.
Narol.
Bullshit.
It's a good shirt too. That's really
It's such a
disappointing.
good
Yeah.
shirt. Slink made that one.
Thank
for
you,
us.
Slink, for this one.
I think
I
that
had
was
the
actually,
idea and I was like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
do? Make it?
And
Can you
Slink
do
created
catch
it.
these
and
hell_diver hands? It's
I
different
don't
enough.
know.
Or Hell
Maybe.
Dash Diver.
We
Fine.
fought it too. It got taken down.
And we won! And then they took it down.
I
again.
provided proof that Lit Escalates allowed it. I provided proof that Random House had used Helldiver before. And so they took it down, or they put it back up, and then within 24 hours they took it down because I think Sony just has it on Redbubble as like a reoccurring do not use those words. But I did fight it and I did win the first time round, and then I could not. I think I submitted like when it came down again. I was like, you just agreed to put it back up, and then I couldn't be bothered after that. So we'll
this
find
might
another
be the
home
only
for
one
it.
in existence.
It might be. That might be it. I think somebody got some of the stickers because it was stickers as well.
It was everything. It was Redbubble.
It was Redbubble. We put everything. If anyone wants some of our merch,
Like the Fade skirt.
the Fade to Obsidian skirt. Nobody has bought the comforter yet. We did always say that if you buy the Fade to Obsidian comforter, we will buy you a drink.
Yep.
Bring that back. Somebody do it.
It's there.
I know.
Yeah, it's
somebody
still there
do
on our
it.
Redbubble.
Somebody. Yep.
We just never advertise our Redbubble.
I know we don't. You do still get. There's no therapy in space is our most bought on there.
No kidding.
And you can then also get I'm here for the spaceships or I'm here for the relationships. And then it has
There's no shade in Tulsa.
No Shade in Tulsa. That one sold really well. A lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I have that one on this jar here. The hot caramel
Oh,
the
gin.
hot melon
good
gin.
sticker.
There's no Shade in Tulsa. I think
Is that
Slink's made
another
that one
Slink
as well.
special?
I think that is another Slink special.
She's so talented.
She is.
True.
There's no Shade in Tulsa. And then I don't know where I got HowlerCon 2023. I don't know where I got that sticker from. There's
Is
a
it
lot
cut
happening
off
in
of
this
the
book.
marked safe from?
No, because that one is on one of my light bringers has Mark Safe from.
Mm-hmm.
No, because that drink was, or that book was almost left at the bar. What are you showing up?
Can you see it?
Oh,
There,
the Mark Safe
here.
from. Yeah.
Marked safe from HowlerCon 2023.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what I think
Let
it
Fall the
is?
Rain from Athena.
I think this full sticker is There's No Shade in Tulsa, HowlerCon 2023, and I just cut it off from there to put there is what I actually think happened to this. Oh, it's the same brewery or distillery that I'm drinking today is the Hot Melon
nice.
Gin. Dylan's from Niagara Falls, Ontario. There we go. Anyway, we are so off track right now because we're bad
That's
at
our favorite thing to do.
Talking about liquor is very narrow coded, though. Arguably, we're still on track.
Yeah. Alcatraz referred to Lagavulin 8 this weekend as jet fuel, and I feel like that is what swill would be.
Also, hateful?
Yeah, she thought it was hateful. Again, I finished hers because she was just making faces.
Yes, 100%.
So I took the rest of hers. I was like, let me just do this for you. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lotus, for this conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was delightful.
Surprisingly long and insightful.
I know. We
That's
thought we'd
really
be done in like half an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Are you back for any of our other? I should have the list.
No, but I'm happy to jump in as a backup if you have anyone that drops out.
All right.
I will panic proof myself on anybody, so just let me know.
Perfect. And if not, we'll bring in for some beans or something. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Again, thank you. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Patreon, for supporting. We will see you next week with, I think, Aja. Or Adrius. Adrius? One of the two. Who dies first?
Aja's before Adrius.
Then it is Aja.
Adrius is the final death.
I don't remember who's doing Aja. We're going to have to look. I think it's Epoch. We're going to have to look it up. You guys.
Somebody has very strong opinions about Aja. I think it's like.
We talked. It's someone who's been on already.
Oh, it's a stained glass artist, I think.
It is Alana LaRose studio.
Yes.
I'm 90% sure. I haven't actually pulled it up yet. So we could be talking out our ass right now. I'm pulling it up. Pins.
Yeah, La Rosa Studios. Yeah.
Amazing. Yep. Alana will be back for that. Yes, she had a lot of feelings about Aja.
Yep.
We do too. So we get Aja, and then Octavia. Then Jenna Sharp's coming on for Adrius. And then Harvest is doing the rest. We got to reach out and make sure Jenna's still in it, but the amazing voice actress. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I already said this, but
thank you anyways.
Last week. Yeah, talk to you. Thanks again. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.